Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my Senate prediction videos where we take a look at the Senate races going on across America in 2020. And today we are taking a look at the regular scheduled Senate election in the state of Georgia, a seat currently held by the Republican Party and first term Senator David Perdue. Purdue was elected in 2014 with 7.68 percentage points. He replaced the retiring senator at the time, Saxby Chambliss. Trump won the state in 2016 by a little over 5 percentage points. Most political prognosticators and pollsters, pundits, and forecasters put Georgia in the toss-up category this time. It is one of the states that is been a traditional red state that is trending blue and uh, has shown polling to indicate that Donald Trump is in real trouble in the state. And in my last video on when I talked about the Georgia special, I was not ready at the time to say who I thought would win the state. I needed to see more data, more polling, more what I considered the lay of the land. Well, sitting as I record this video now, 8 days out from the election, I am ready to say how I think the state of Georgia will vote in this upcoming presidential election. I think Joe Biden's going to win the state of Georgia. I have all year thought, looking out at the landscape of these traditional red states, of if we were realistically going to see one of them flip, what would it be? And I didn't think Texas was one of them. I'm still not, as of this moment, sold on Texas going blue. I definitely could get there by election day. But at this moment, I think that I've seen enough polling and I've read enough about what's going on in Georgia to confidently say that I think Joe Biden's going to win Georgia. It's not going to be by much. It's going to be very close. But I think in the end, the suburban shift inside of metro Atlanta and suburban women who are just fed the hell up with Donald Trump is going to be enough to push Joe Biden over the top in Georgia, and that is what's going to propel Biden to victory. And this is going to be a huge asset to the Democrats in this race, um, because you've got a Senate race here between two candidates, and I'm going to go over them now. The Democratic nominee is Jon Ossoff. Mr. Ossoff was a candidate in the special election for the 6th district back in 2017. Everyone remembers that special election. If you follow politics, it was a very costly election and very high profile for a off-year special congressional election. And it was one of the first signs in these special elections where people saw that Republicans were in real trouble. Even though Republicans won the seat, the Democrats had such a good showing in that people began to say, "Oh my, this is looking like it could be a wave in the 2018 midterms." Prior to his run in 2017, Ossoff had served as an aide to Congressman John Lewis and also was a journalist. The Republican nominee is David Perdue. Perdue is currently the incumbent senator, and prior to that, he was a CEO and businessman. And by the way, he is not an heir to the Purdue chicken uh, of chicken fame. In the primaries, Democratic voters actually cast 1.1 million ballots, and Republicans cast just under a million ballots. It was about a 54 to 45 split in percentage points if you take a look at the two candidates. Like if you took all the Democratic votes and all the Republican votes. Here's my prediction on this election. And Georgia's special because their elections require you to get 50 plus 1 to win an election, a statewide election. I predict that Purdue and Ossoff are going to go to a runoff. There is a third party candidate that is pulling just enough support to send it to a runoff. And I think that you're going to have two Senate runoffs in Georgia on January 5th, 2021. So my prediction on this race is a runoff. I don't want to make a prediction on what I think is going to happen in the runoff just yet. I want to see how that plays out because I think it could very well be a different political dynamic at the time. And with special elections, you get a different kind of voter. And trust me, if Georgia has two special elections for the Senate going on at the same time, with control of the Senate in the balance, you better believe that Georgia will be ground zero in the political just atmosphere. So if you thought this presidential election has been crazy, put the Senate on the line with two special elections in what would become a swing state in January. So that's my prediction on the Georgia Senate election, the regular scheduled Senate election, because Georgia has two this year, and I've already covered the special. So Purdue and Ossoff to a runoff on January 5th.